You're telling your wife that you need a new pickup. I don't know if you know it, but a vehicle, it's nice and shiny and pretty, and the second you drive it off the lot in a normal market, it's a depreciating asset. I want to dig into that a little bit further, but it's cold today. So let's go inside, let's sit down and tear this apart a little bit. Hey, Jamie Jenisic, Team North Idaho Home Hunter, Coeur d'Alene Keller Williams. Just took a shot of my new pickup. I needed a new pickup this spring. I want to walk through some numbers about some things. I've had people in the past in my life opening my eyes up for investments and where to spend my money the best. And I'm not saying don't go buy a new pickup if that's what you need. So if you were going to go buy a 2023 Ford Super Duty diesel right now, like that truck, you're probably looking for a 1 ton about $83,760. And at 60 months right now at 0% interest, you're with $9,600 down, your payments are about $1,236 a month. So my insurance for this pickup, I think a lot of people don't really think about what the real costs of having vehicles are and toys. It's not just the cost of the vehicle. You got to look at the insurance and other things. So my insurance with good credit, multiple vehicles, umbrella policy, $858 a year. If you were a young driver with average credit, and just kind of starting out, if you weren't married, single, in your mid-20s or something, you're probably looking at least $150 to $200 a month for insurance for that. Fuel, with the cost of diesel and stuff today, you're probably looking around $350 to $400 a month. Tires, at least $1,200 a set, or if you're really fancy, you need to go lift your truck and get big old hog tires on there, you're probably looking $2,000 a set. Oil changes are twice as much with a diesel than they are for a gas, and so you're looking about $100 every 5,000 miles. So the real cost of a vehicle, like a new Ford 1 ton pickup, you're probably looking about $2,000 a month. What if you bought a piece of land instead? Just to give you some comparisons, we have a piece of land, 5 acres down by Fernwood, just dropped the price to $48,000. Smoking piece of land, great old growth timber on it, nice ridge top, great views, great central place for a jump off spot if you like to hunt. Smoking deal, call me if you want more info. A land loan through Freedom Northwest Credit Union right now, I just called them this morning. With decent credit, they probably want 20% down. So if you bought this piece of land for $48,000 and a $9,600 down payment, same thing as you did for the pickup, interest rates about 8.5%, amortized over 30 years, runs you right around $295 a month. So if you figure your taxes are cheap, you're probably running around $325 a month. Now here's the thing. A pickup is a depreciating asset. A piece of land is an appreciating asset. I know that you need a vehicle to get to work. I'm figuring an alternative. If you went and bought a half-ton pickup for $25,000, I know you can buy one because I bought one a couple years ago for about, I think I paid $12,000, $13,000 for a half-ton pickup. But if you bought a half-ton pickup for $25,000 with little or no down payment, 7% interest for 72 months, runs about $426 a month. Now you're going to have probably around $100 a month insurance. Gas and tires and oil changes, they'll be half that of what a diesel is. So your monthly cost for a half-ton pickup at $25,000 is probably going to be right around $800 to $900 a month versus $2,000 a month for a new diesel pickup. So again, a vehicle is a depreciating asset. A piece of land is appreciating. Well, from personal experience, from Sherry and I's investments in the past, if you were to buy a truck and hold it for 6 years. Now, remember, I used to be the fleet manager at Dave Smith Motors in Kellogg, so I know this from experience. I've had many, many vehicles, probably many more than most people have, right? I've had my fair share. If you buy a truck for $83,000, I can just about guarantee you in 6 years, it's not going to be worth $83,000. It's going to be substantially less. If you bought a piece of land and you held it for 6 years and did a little bit of work on it, cleared some brush, punched a road in, build a pad on it, if it tripled in 6 years, even after your $20,000 of interest that you've paid, you'd still have about $125,000 worth of value. Or you could buy the big truck, and after 6 years, you're probably worth $30 to $35,000. One thing that I didn't bring up was the differences in if you had a half-ton pickup and a piece of land, the about $800 a month difference between buying the diesel, what if you took that 800 bucks and invested in that? So right now with Treasury notes, just for an example, safe investment, I've got some in Fidelity and Treasury notes. They're earning about 5.5% right now. If you were to put 800 bucks down and over the next 6 years put $800 a month in, do you realize that you would have a nest egg of 68 grand? So in 6 years, if you put 800 bucks a month just into Treasury notes, we're talking half of what a normal, like an index stock would yield. You're still looking at $68,000. So I know you need the big truck because I need stuff too. And nobody is better at justifying things than me, right? Having a cool big truck, it shows you how successful you are. Your truck is bigger than your friend's truck. You can drive your new four-wheeler around in the back of it in the summer, and in the winter you can put your new snowmobile in the back of it. And of course, once in a while you can pack groceries. The first diesel pickup I bought, you know what I hauled in it? A pedal bike. Like I needed a 1-ton truck diesel to drag around my pedal bike. Oh yeah, and I went to the dump once in a while. What I found after nearly 20 years of real estate is that when people really want a home, they have a way of finding the down payment. Other people are just as good at justifying things as I am. When we started real estate almost 20 years ago, we lost everything we owned. But you know what I always had? I always had a four-wheeler. I always had some guns, and I always had some bullets, and I always had a hunting license. I didn't always have a sportsman's pack because that was expensive, but I always had a hunting license. So the devotion that Sherry and I read when we were coming into town this morning, Proverbs 10:4, it says, "He become poor that deals with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent makes rich." Last year, we helped a friend of ours. I sold this guy a house 10 years ago. So he's owned a house in Rathdrum for 10 years. Okay? He's accrued equity over those last 10 years. He didn't use that equity to go pull it out to pay for his bills. He didn't use that equity to buy a new car or a new boat or go on a cool vacation. He used that equity to pull out, and he put 30% down on a 40-acre piece of land that we found for him. He had the horsepower to, because his house payment was not so much and the interest rates were down, he had the horsepower to pay his house payment and the new land payment, right? But you know what his friend said? Man, you're super lucky. You must really be lucky, because you have a friend that's in real estate that could help you do that. You know what? I never gave him a dime to help him do that. He had the equity. He just didn't realize that he could do what he did. And he was teachable enough to actually, when he got some good counsel, that he actually acted on it. So I ask people all the time, like say I've been doing this a long time, and I ask people, do you have your foot in the door in real estate? I know it's expensive out there right now, even for kids to start out, You can finally find a house under $400,000, but it's been a while since we've seen that. But everybody can't afford that payment, a $400,000 house. But most of us can afford a $325 payment for a piece of land. So when I ask people today, do you have your foot in the door in real estate? No, we're going to wait until the prices fall. No, we're going to wait until these interest rates go down. Our first investment was a piece of land. We paid 11% for it, 11% hard money loan. That was about 5 to 6 years ago. You know what all my friends said? That you're stupid, that you're crazy. I can't believe you're paying that kind of interest. But you know what? Over 6 years, we 3 to 4 times our money on that piece of property. So was it a good investment? We didn't hold the note the whole time at 11%. We waited about a year and a half. We pulled $40,000 of equity out of it to pay some bills. And then we refinanced it through a lender in town, and our payment stayed the same. Plus, we got 40 grand equity in it. I don't know. We would have probably lost our business had we not had the ability to do that. So it's the same people that say, no, I can't afford it. I can't afford a piece of land. I can't afford an investment. They'll go and then they'll jump in their new Cummins diesel or their new pickup and drive off with their jacked up truck and their big tires. I would just ask you, if you don't have an investment right now, why not? Do we think these other people that are doing this are smarter or better looking or more lucky than we are? You know what? We're no different than the rest of the people that are doing this. They just realize that there's different ways of investing and using the money that you have. You know what? When people come to us and go, hey, we want to buy a house, but we want to sell our house first. You know what the first question I would ask is, do you think you really need to sell your house? Because how do I help you keep your house and buy a new house? And a lot of people have no idea that they could actually do that. So if you don't have your foot in the door in investment, why not? And if you don't do it now, do we really think that prices are going to go down? I've been hearing about that for the last 8 or 10 years. And you know what I found in real estate? They just continue to go. People love North Idaho and they continue to come. If other people can do it, we can do it too. And over the years, my wife and I have invested in quite a few properties. And I was at a point in my life one time where I didn't think that I'd ever be able to do that. And I'm so thankful that I got around people that changed the way I thought. So give us a call, North Idaho Home Hunter.